Well, our coverage of today's major decision from the Supreme Court, now we continue with this. It comes just 2 weeks before the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. 11 Alive's Karis Belger spoke with political experts about what this all means for the former president's bid for a second term. Karis.
Well, both experts I spoke with say Republicans are looking at this as a victory of sorts, and it's certainly something former President Trump will continue to bring up during the remainder of his campaign. On the last day of the judicial calendar, the U.S. Supreme Court handed down a highly anticipated decision in the federal election interference case against former President Donald Trump.
So today is a big victory for the Trump campaign and for Trump himself.
Republican strategist Brian Robinson says it gives the former president campaign reinforcement to long-held arguments that the legal proceedings against him were politically motivated. The court ruled the president does have some immunity. The decision saying in part, quote, "The government thus broadly agrees the president's official acts are entitled to some degree of constitutional protection."
This is going to give him a messaging win on the campaign trail.
But the court did not specify what an official act is. The justices are leaving that decision to the lower court.
Really and truly, Trump just needs to get to November without any further judicial action taking place.
A likely outcome, according to 11 Alive political analyst and Emory political science professor Dr. Andra Gillespie.
That there's no way that the January 6th trial gets underway before the November election.
And she says Republicans and Democrats will have to be strategic in how they frame the decision when trying to sway undecided voters before they head to the polls.
Are they going to be moved by a message that now focuses on the strength of democratic institutions and whether or not you really want to have an imperial presidency where there are limits to how presidents can be held accountable for their action?
And Dr. Andra Gillespie also pointed out former President Trump can continue to appeal decisions in this case, even if a finite definition of official acts is determined early. He could still do that throughout the remainder of the proceedings. Back to you.